Hey Royal Family, it's Cash Me Out. I am Queen Supreme, and I'm back at you again for another video on the Maleah Davis case. Now, let's take a look at what happened at Darion Vence'S court date yesterday. But before we get into that, I would just like to state that pretty much right now as we stand, the only thing that the media has done right now that has royally pissed me off is cover up the fact that there was molestation going on inside this home. Now, many of you know that days ago, Brittany surfaced with Quanell X, the fake activist, and he pretty much had all these answers that Brittany couldn't give us. Brittany sat there and shook her head and bounced her body up and down as if she was really hurting inside over her daughter's disappearance. I don't believe that for a moment. However, in this video, it was stated that she knew that he was bathing Maleah, that he was bringing Maleah back home after allegedly dropping her off at daycare. She claims to have no knowledge, but has knowledge, right? She then wants to hide behind the fact of allegedly she was abused as a child, right? Now, for mainstream media, I think you guys should be ashamed of yourself for trying to hide this, because yes, they did, this raw video of this press conference was released. However, it was not broadly expounded upon in the mainstream media's eye. When they did reports or follow-ups or updates on this story, they failed to leave this out. There is no other real clips that I have found, maybe I'm wrong, that state this. It's just this clip. And if you would have only seen the other view of this, right, that small 5-minute portion of this really whole 10-minute portion of the news clip, yes, Royal Family, because the mainstream media did not want you to see the first portion of the clip. They clicked in on, the second part, the last 5 minutes, but this clip originally was 10 minutes, and if you would like to see it, it is on my page. However, I wanted to look into this because many of my, people that have been on my pages for a while know that I have spoken out about domestic abuse and molestation that I've received when I was a child, and physical abuse, because I had a mother that was kind of like Brittany. The only difference between her and Brittany is she didn't fail me as much. You see what I'm saying? As much. But my mom was definitely the type of person that put men in front of me, abused me, knew that I was being abused, allowed me to be abused, and did nothing. Okay? So, coming from somebody with my background that has had abuse, and I'm not just talking about getting a whooping from your mom, I'm talking about broken arms, broken legs. One time, my tooth went through the bottom portion of my upper teeth. My upper two front teeth went through the bottom portion of my lip due to my mother basically punching me in my mouth. I was 7 years old. I've had to where my body was so bruised that I was pulled out of class and police pulled me into the principal's office with Child Protective Services there, and they then stripped me naked to then take full photographs of my body. And the reason why I'm stating this is because I don't fucking give a fuck if Brittany was abused or not. And in reality, if she was abused, that should have been more than enough reason for her to make sure that this did not happen to her daughter. That's why I advocate against abuse, period, and pieces of shit ass mothers like Brittany. So during the course of this video, we're going to look at Brittany and her demeanor in court. We've already seen her demeanor in the public and how she tries to play victim. But right now in this video, I just wanted to state those things because oftentimes, yes, being a victim of abuse does damage you, but you can either be a warrior and pick your motherfucking shit up and use that to your advantage, far as being an advocate against children being hurt, spreading the word, doing something actual, and especially protecting your children that you have in your home. That's number one, right? We don't need a handbook on parenting, do we? But see, these type of females, right? These type of dirty ass women that are actually egg donors, if there was abuse there, they like to hide behind it. And as an abused child on many levels, I could actually make a story video about the abuse I received, not only from my mother, but other people that failed me in life. I can definitely tell you that, no, if you've been failed, you do have an option. Just like if you were molested, you have an option to then either advocate against molestation or advocate towards molestation. And it seems like that's what Brittany did. She continued to hide behind her boyfriend, and that's in reality what it is. We don't even know, like, allegedly this dude had a job. That ring that she has is pretty big, so I very highly doubt that Darion bought it, okay? I've known females that have worn rings that they bought themselves, but they wear them because when they go to the club, they don't want men to holler. I don't know who would holler at Brittany. She's not a bombshell. I'm not here to slander her, but I'm just saying, Brittany's trash, and that's my opinion. I'm not here to bully her, but over the course of this case, there has been a lot of things presented by Brittany after Quanell got involved, and I think she should have skipped the Quanell phase and just went right to the police, because if you really did not have anything to do with this, then you should have stopped this months ago. But the first portion of this, we're going to listen to Quanell again. You know what I mean? We're going to rehash that portion of the molestation and the abuse allegations and all this and that. And then we're going to jump into what happened at the court date behind the scenes. Now, many of you may know this. However, this is the first time that I'm really showing this on my channel. I did see the footage of it, of course. However, I don't like to upload grainy footage to my videos unless I have to, so I did take the time to wait for better videos to come out showing what happened. Now, they might not be in order, but I did my best to try to arrange this video for you, so sit back and enjoy. Let's first look into Quanell X minimizing and supporting a woman that failed her daughter on many levels, named Brittany Bowens. Let's go.
On the day that Brittany left to go to be with her sick father, her dying father, to be with family, there was a huge fight between her and him. And that fight was about, she had caught him sending naked penis pictures to another man, and she confronted him about being gay. He was hurt, he was angry, he was upset that she had discovered these pictures of him sending penis shots to another man. And he kept trying to get her to call him back. He kept trying to get her to respond. And she would not respond. She told him that she was giving back his ring and that she was not going to marry him. The mother had had heated words with him in the past about him physically whooping and spanking young Maleah, that the mother felt she was too small for him to use, or for him to spank her in the method in which he was spanking young Maleah. And she confronted him about bruises on Maleah. And she said, "I'm taking my baby to the hospital." He told her, "No, you're not. That I'm not going down for this." The mistake she made at that point was not going to the hospital immediately about the abuse.
When did that happen?
This was months ago. There were times where he would say she was at daycare, but he would bring her back, not drop off at daycare, but bring the child back here to the home with him. There's reason to believe, based on what I know now, that there's issues of him possibly molesting young Maleah, the stepdad, because he would sneak that child home and bring her back here and not tell the mother. She also confronted him about bathing Maleah. He would bathe Maleah, which was inappropriate. That's not his daughter. That's not his child. There was no need for him to be bathing her. There's a lot that the mother needs to share with law enforcement that she has not shared with law enforcement.
Why did she keep these facts a secret when it was so critical to the investigation?
The mother did not want to believe by any stretch of the imagination that this man was capable of what is obvious that has taken place here. She has suffered a lot of abuse in her life. Let me be very crystal clear with you. This mother has suffered a lot of abuse in her life. But there are some key things that will help investigators in this case by mom coming forward and sharing with them the things that mom has shared with me.
Justice for Maleah! 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 Justice for my baby! We can't find her!
Why was the court date?
We have no idea.
There were some discrepancies with Brittany's timeline of her trip to Massachusetts and what's in the court documents.
I don't know about that.
Just the dates and times were a little off.
What dates and times are we speaking? Well, then maybe you should raise that question if you can't clarify.
Okay, so you mentioned yesterday to one of our colleagues that you believe that Maleah was dismembered. Where did you get that information from?
My sources involved in this investigation who have provided me with credible information that even law enforcement did not have, that I gave them. The video that you all have that you've been showing, that came from our investigation, not them. So when I tell you that that happened in their department, absolutely it did. In fact, they left certain things behind that speaks to what they were searching for, they were looking for. So we had to ask them to come back and get also blood tissue sample kits, etc.
When you say that the video came from you guys, law enforcement had the video on Tuesday.
The video, we had already contacted them about the video. That neighbor did not want to be involved, but they had already contacted us about the video. And that's why you all knew nothing about it till you heard it from me.
Oh, I knew about it on Tuesday. That's what I'm saying. Law enforcement had it on Tuesday.
And you did not have it until you all heard it from me. It was me that showed you all where the camera was.
Yeah, we've had the video since Tuesday.
You were not there.
No, I know, but I sent the video to the station.
It doesn't matter who got it.
Where's Maleah?
Where's Maleah?
Where's Maleah?
Brittany knows.
The main thing right now that all of us want to know is, what did he do with Maleah?
Justice for Maleah.
Justice for Maleah.
Why Brittany ain't got locked up yet?
Why isn't she locked up? Why is she not?
She needs to be.
She can't even cry.
Justice.
Tears is not even falling down her face.
My mom was
Justice!
abused. My mom was abused
Justice!
for 2 years, but she never committed that mistake. She was abused for 22 years. She never committed that mistake.
So you guys have any insight on where she would possibly be at this point where searches can
We have ideas, yes. And I've been speaking with Texas Epic Search.
All about Maleah. All about Maleah.
They're searching the area that we believe is where probably.
This has to be extremely tough for Brittany as a mom and what these
She let it happen.
Brittany knew all along.
She let it happen.
Is there anything you would like to clear up? There's been a lot of different rumors and narratives put out there. Do you want to take this time to clear up anything?
Well, one of the big misconceptions and big lies was her timeline that her father's funeral was on one day.
Why was he checking her out of school every day?
Why didn't she bring the baby? Let him talk.
One of the biggest untruths is that her father died on April the 11th. So why would she leave later at the end of the month? It's because the family did not have.
Parnell, you need to be on this side, man.
It was raising resources. They was raising resources to bury her. When they got the money to bury her father, that's exactly when they had the services. So his body sat in a mortuary for weeks until they got the money to bury his father. He did die on the 11th. He knew what he was doing. He did die on the 11th.
Okay,
We have the obituary of when he died.
We know that.
Is there any explanation as to why Maleah was left in his care and she knew he was possibly molesting and beating her?
Just clear up one thing. When the last time did Brittany see the baby? Find out when the last time Brittany see the baby.
We're not going to fight on the baby. It's all about this baby. It's all about this. It's all about the baby, Cornell. You take a step, we going down.
No, just to help.
Yeah, we just want to fight for this baby. I know. But at the same time, we just okay, y'all. We just tell us to take. Y'all have to give Cornell some kind of respect. Yeah. We respect you, Cornell. We just want the justice. We just want to know where Maleah is.
If it wasn't for me, the man wouldn't be in the goddamn jail.
I know that, but
We respect that.
we respect that. We respect that. Okay. Yeah. We just want to know where Maleah is.
Everything, whatever it's all gonna come to the light. God gonna bring it to
Yes. Nobody knows where he's at. Okay, leave it all alone. Nobody knows where she's at. We can't follow Cornell. Brittany, if you know where she is, please tell. I know, but at the same time, we want to know where the baby at.
Wow. Maybe the morning your own baby. Yeah. You ain't even go buy a fucking shirt. They talking about how they want to turn around. Turn around.
No, you gotta leave me the fuck alone. Then that's what I'm saying, honey. It's not even about that, bro. I wouldn't touch you. I have a baby, baby.
We take care of her.
Y'all have a baby, baby. Trust and believe. I'm all for what's right, honey. I'm all for what's not right. Ain't nobody saying that's your child. That's your child. That's your child. Believe your child. Don't come with the labor, because it's all about that, baby. If you was a real friend, too, you would understand. You got kids, right, boo? You got kids, right, mama? All right, then. So I'm pretty sure you done been around this. I haven't. You haven't? You haven't, and you don't feel no type of confidence for innocent lady? I do, though. This is a good So that's your cousin? It's your baby. It's your cousin? This is very fucked up.
She trusted a man. Trusted a man is the thing. She just said, I trusted him. I trusted him. Just put a dick over your baby. Yeah, she said she trusted that man. She was home 5 days before she left out of town. She was there, said get that stank out of the house. That's what said, get that baby that stank. No, that's still behind her. No, that's another car behind her. Just pull on the corner right there. You come back. She said I ain't going. Amen on that. That's right. That's right. She said I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Oh, she wants to run like a coward. They're back there. Woo! Coward ass. No, you got that way. She gotta come right here, so look where she's coming.
Justice for Maleah.
Justice for Maleah. Justice for Maleah. Justice for Maleah. She's gonna come out right here. Pull right here. Come on, go. Hey, go. She's right there. She's right there. Woo, she going in the back. Yeah. She's turning left right here. They ready. Back up, yeah. Back up, you'll be right behind her.
Baby that, move. Move. What the fuck is wrong with you? These fucking idiots. You right? No, they reset it. They all going back.
Y'all, I'm really not surprised that these women showed up to heckle, I should say, Brittany Bowens in this situation. I feel like it's much deserved. Ultimately, anybody that does not understand anybody condemning Brittany for her actions or her lack thereof in her daughter's situation definitely hasn't been following along. Brittany was well aware of what was going on to her daughter. She had these, at least accusations, we'll call them, right? And did nothing. Ultimately sat there and failed her daughter. Claims that she didn't think that somebody that she loved could do these things, but that's what he's shown you. And ultimately, regardless of when she left or whatever with the funeral, ultimately she had other resources to where she could have left her child with somebody else. Now, I think it's important to point out that Brittany only decided to allegedly, quote unquote, give the ring back after she found the gay pictures in his phone where he was sending his penis pictures, as Quanell says, to other men. And I feel like that's a slap in the face to Maleah, because she didn't leave during all these other times. She didn't leave or, tell him to leave, because I don't think that this is his apartment. I think it's Brittany's apartment. But she didn't tell him that it was over or give the ring back when he was beating her child, spanking her and giving her baths and bringing her home from the daycare early. She didn't run to police and get help when she came back from allegedly going to her father's funeral, which his funeral happened way before the first, but I guess they had a smaller service that Brittany attended. But she then turned around after finding these penis pictures in his phone and decided to then leave her daughter and still go with the plan, knowing that she had a mother and sisters and all type of other family members that allegedly in the beginning of the case were so concerned about Maleah, right? I'm sure they are claiming to be still concerned, but where was that support system when Brittany needed it? No, I'm not saying that to say that I'm riding with Brittany. I can't stand females like Brittany at all. They like to put the blame on something else or relieve themselves somehow of blame, and the blame is with her. Coming from somebody that was severely abused and molested as a child, I have never failed my children or would never knowingly fail my child. In fact, I've overstepped boundaries in my life to ensure that those things never happen to my children. And I'm not going for the whole she was abused, she needs therapy. She knew that she was abused and needed therapy before. Instead, she wanted to chase up behind Craig. Not Craig, my bad, damn. Salute to Craig. I don't know anything bad about Craig. Really, I feel like he could have done some things to ensure that this didn't happen, but ultimately, to me, it falls on Brittany and Darion. because they were the adults in this situation. She was, the child was living in the home with Brittany, not Craig. There was not established any parental, like, rights for Craig. And again, that court date would have been May 22nd, that it was decided if Craig would have had his daughter or not, or if Brittany would have had her, if they both lost custody. Look, I don't know that much about Craig, but I know one thing. I know that Brittany and Darion failed Maleah. I know that Maleah came out of Brittany's body. Therefore, she has a maternal demand to protect that child in any situation that she puts her in. And I know that for a fact that was not done in this situation. I know Brittany's type. See, my mom was very close to Brittany's type of person, right? Again, obviously, I never lost my life, but the same behavior in Brittany I see in my mother. Even how they move their body type of shit. And it makes me sick. I do not hate my mother. However, I've learned a lot from my mother, mainly being that I would be nothing like her when I became a mother. And that is true, still to this day. Just because you're abused does not mean that using the fact that you were abused is okay and allows you to get out of every situation. If anything, coming from somebody that was severely abused as a child on many levels, I would state that she definitely failed her child. And I could give a fuck less about any type of abuse that Brittany went through, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is our responsibility to break these circles and these reoccurring things that happen. So let's say your grandmother was abused as a child and she raises your mother, and your mother abuses you, and then you have kids, and then you abuse them, and then they have kids, and then they abuse their kids. This will go on and on. Somebody has to be smart enough to break that circle of happening over and over and over again. Otherwise, we'll be raising damaged children forever. It's not enough that she just pointed out that she's been abused and in a foster home and this, that, and the fifth. I know several people that have been in foster homes, several people that have been abused, several people that have probably had a way harder childhood than Brittany. However, they did not fail their kids. They learned from that mistake and broke that circle. And that is exactly what Brittany should have done in this situation, but she failed to do so. So on my channel, there will be no coddling Maleah Davis's mother. We don't do that here. I'm not trying to bully the bitch, but we're not going to sit here and coddle her. We're not going to act like she was dumbed down and didn't know that her behavior could have resulted in her child's death. We're not going to sit here and act like the behavior that Darion showed her was anything else other than that. If you saw him abusing your daughter that had all these brain surgeries, half of her skull was missing, and yada, 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 then you should have known or made a move. You have a mother. You may not have a father, but you don't have no males in your life that could have came over there and kicked him out. The only thing is, after they kicked him out, you would have then had to stand on that. Stand on your square that you were not going to let him in or allow any other man like that to come back into your home. Brittany failed her daughter. And if anybody has a problem with me saying that, please leave that in the comment section, because I would like to know your take on why Brittany was not the one to fail her daughter in this situation. Why it's all Darion. Darion wasn't there for Maleah. Well, he may have been, because a lot of times in these child molestation cases, the person that's the child molester will groom the mother or groom a family member or whatever to then get close into it. He may not have even been attracted to Brittany. Maybe that's why he's sending gay pictures. And I'm definitely not saying that all gay people are child molesters. However, there have been reports to state that, you know, just because you're gay does not mean that, you know what I mean, you would not molest a child. And in fact, in this story, I think that Darion Vence is actually a sexual deviant. I think that it doesn't matter what the person or persons that he's attracted to look like or their ages. I think that he just likes sex, period. And as a woman, if you're laid down with this man, you had his baby already, you should know him way better than you're trying to portray to the public. And with that said, royal family, I could go on and on about this bitch, but I'd rather not waste your time or your life. So with that said, we will continue. I don't know where I'm headed next. I do have more search party journals. I don't know how I feel about that one that I said was kind of funny or whatever. It's kind of irritating after a while of watching it, but I might still post it. You never know. Somebody might find something in it, or some type of question might arise in the situation. So I might still do that. However, royal family, we will continue to keep both eyes on this case and, you know, our ears to the street in this matter. Stay you, stay uncompromisable, stay woke, stay royal, and I will see you in another video. Much love.